You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts now.
I'm back. Rodrance for Black and White Sports 2. If you're new to the channel, hit subscribe, like, comment. You guys know what's up. Okay, so we're going to talk about the U.S. Women's National Team. As we know right now, as it stands in the World Cup 2023, this team is a disaster. They are a dumpster fire rolling downhill on a tire fire. They underachieved and underperformed against the Netherlands to a draw. And then the other night, Portugal, a draw there, and they were only saved by what can only be described as a wooden goalpost. That's right. Portugal had a shot on goal. Nobody defended the goal, and the girl hit the post. Otherwise, it would have been bye-bye U.S. Women's National Squad. Now, there's been a lot of distraction. As we know, this U.S. Women's National Team is woke as hell, and they've become a lot like the WNBA. They're starting to be known more for activism and their distaste for the very country they're supposed to be proud and playing for than they are for soccer. I mean, WNBA is pretty much known for their activism, not their basketball. Let's keep it real. So Carli Lloyd, who played for the team for a long time, come out and hammered the shit out of the team the other night post-game, right? She made some comments. She didn't like the players celebrating after the game as if they had won when they had clearly underachieved. They took selfies. They carried on. They did hee-hee and ha-ha and all that bullshit. Carli Lloyd, who is used to winning, slammed this team, hammered them. And, of course, the wokes lost their minds online, and she come out and apologized. Many of you believe that it was Fox Sports that led her down the road to apologize for her comments. Now, we said very vocally, look, you don't need to apologize. That's what's going to make you a great analyst. Matrix brought up the fact that Barkley and Jordan don't get along anymore because Barkley was critical of Jordan. Well, that was his job, NBA analyst. You've got to be objective. You've got to be critical if you want to be good. And she looked like she was going to be good. Well, she took a lot of shit. She apologized. Well, a U.S. men's soccer legend has come out and he has backed Carli Lloyd. And he said, I believe her comments were, quote, wonderful, and applauded her. That's right. Alexi Lalas, once known for that beard and that long hair, came out and had his Fox Soccer, his fellow commentators back. And we will play a little bit of that clip. Hopefully they won't demonetize it. Carli Lloyd didn't have to look far to find a supporter of criticisms of the U.S. Women's National Team. Tuesday, after the U.S. Women's National Team tied Portugal 0-0 to narrowly advance past the group stage, Lloyd took issue with players dancing, smiling, and taking selfies with fans following the game. Alexi Lalas commended his colleague on Fox Sports studio programming, quote, not everybody is wired like Carli Lloyd, and by the way, you were wonderful yesterday. Like you said, it came from a place that was personal, emotional, and honest. And while we're not all wired the same, I do think we share that when we are talking about our national teams, because we're talking about our country, wow, we want this to go well. Quote, we also want to have pride in what was going on the field. And yes, it's a whole new day in terms of getting out of the group. They've got to fix some things going forward, and the criticism they got is warranted and fair. But there is also a belief that maybe there's another team hiding behind this one that can do better, a big maybe. Because if there's not, they're going to go home quick. On second thought, I'm not even going to play the clip. There's no point. Lloyd, one of the most decorated players in the history of U.S. women's soccer, spoke passionately after the game on Tuesday. I've never witnessed something like that. There's a difference between being respectful of fans and saying hello to your family, Lloyd said. But to be dancing, to be smiling, I mean, the player of the match was that post, the goal post. You were lucky to not be going home right now. She later doubled down in an interview. Quote, "It is no longer we want to win because we want to win. No, we want to win everything that comes with winning. And we think we can just roll out and win games. That's not the case. And teams see that. They see the arrogance in the United States, and they see they're not this unstoppable team. They see that they're able to be broken down and beaten." Okay. So she hammered this team again. I had not heard these comments. On Wednesday's studio show, Lloyd clarified her remarks as having come from a place of passion. "I was very critical last night. I've had some time to reflect, to sleep on them, and I want people to understand that I deeply care about this team." And it goes on to talk about the fact that the coach did come out and slam her. I mean, who cares what this coach has got to say? We're talking about a team that the other day, once again, during the national anthem, like 3 players actually respected the national anthem, and the rest of them just looked stoic, looked angry to even be there listening to the national anthem, did not have their hand over their heart. It was pretty pathetic, really. And this coach, he has ownership in that. Coming into this, right before it started, Megan Rapinoe started her grifting tour, okay? We know she's been this massive advocate of social justice. I think she greatly distracted the team by saying, look, she didn't say, look, when I retire, I'm okay with the men coming in and playing for the U.S. women's team, the transgenders. But let's be real. She's advocating for that. She's shilling for that. She's banging the drums for that. But she's also conveniently retiring and not having to deal with that. And a lot of people, including myself, including us, we have been calling her out forever on all kinds of issues. We are very aware that when Megan Rapinoe makes those kind of statements, number one, she ain't got to play against them. Number two, brave, stunning, and courageously, when she makes these kind of statements, she's going to start cashing more checks. Just so happens she came sauntering out before the game in some kind of a suit that looked like it was for a straight-up dude, straight-up man, right? And you cannot tell me that her antics are not a distraction for this team. I just simply will not believe it. Now, any criticism of this team is always met online with backlash because, of course, there's a massive part of social media that, well, it's a massive part of social media, but not of actual real life, that gets triggered anytime you criticize, the U.S. women's national squad, you criticize the WNBA, you criticize the NBA because, oh my goodness, they're woke and you have to bend the knee. Nah, there'll be no knee bending on either one of these sports channels we've got. I assure you of that. I applaud Alexi Lalas for having his teammates back here. And he also echoed pretty much the same thing she said. So, Alexi Lalas, you'll probably be getting the redhead, straight white male treatment, unless you're gay and I don't know it, straight white male treatment after these comments you made about the U.S. women's national squad. He's probably not, but hell, I don't know a damn thing about him. I just haven't heard anything overtly political out of Alexi Lalas' mouth. Maybe he'll say something. I don't know. Tell me what you think, black and white sports supporters. Peace. I'm out. Till next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.